This is a very different video from what I'm used to. This is just going to be a completely raw, unedited, uncut, just basic conversation with myself and the camera for my whole story so far and everything I've learned about running a clothing brand solo, because when I started when I was 19, I had no prior experience whatsoever. So the best place to start, I think, is at the beginning. When I was 18, I left college I had the choice to either go to uni. I got accepted to all the top unis, and I just didn't feel like it was what I wanted to do, to be honest. And there was an opportunity that came up to do a degree apprenticeship. And if you're not from the UK, a degree apprenticeship is basically where you work, earn money, but then also study for a degree at the same time. So you still get the same qualifications as uni, but you're getting paid while on the job and learning. It's a bit weird. There's a lot of work. But I chose one in accountancy. Now, for me to get my full degree, it would have taken, I think, 6 or 7 years. And I was there for just over a year before I decided to leave, because I just thought, this isn't for me. The main thing that triggered it for me is the work was boring. And second of all, I don't want to be sat there counting someone else's money. I want someone to be sat there counting my money. And it just didn't sit right with me. I thought, I'm young. I've got no, things tying me back. Let's just go for it. So I then left my job and started the brand when I on my own, 19. I'd never touched Photoshop. I'd never touched Illustrator. To be honest, I couldn't even dress at the time. My dress sense was awful. I just had no idea, but I just always had the idea that I wanted to do it. I love clothes. My mum loves clothes, and that's where I sort of get it from. So I thought, you know what? My ego is pretty big. My ego tells me I can do anything, and my ego was telling me to leave your job and just start that. Just do what you want to do. So I left my job, learned Photoshop, Illustrator for 2 weeks. I wasn't good at it. I'm not even that good at it now. I can just get by. And I released my first piece. It was if you go back on Frost's Instagram, it was just a logo tee. I thought it was the bee's knees at the time, but looking back on it, it just isn't anything I want to be associated with anymore. And drop day came. I'd promoted for about a week. I'd been boosting stuff on Instagram because that's what I've been told, drive sales and that. And I sat there. I remember it was a Thursday night. I opened it at 6 o'clock. I was there on the Shopify dashboard on my bed, and I was looking at the screen, and I sent the email out. There was about 20 people on the website, and then there was no people on the website, and then there was no people on the website for the rest of the day. And I didn't make one sale. And I remember the feeling of failure and regret. I just sat there and thought, I don't want to feel this again. This is not me. So I dusted myself off and went again. And now I'm doing a lot better, but I'm still not where I want to be at. So I thought I'd just give a little bit of, not a wisdom, because no one should be aspiring to be in my position. I'm aspiring to be in someone else's position. Not exactly be them, but get to the level of success that they've earned. But I thought the main thing that's hard for me is you see people at the top and they're giving advice, but it's hard to take the advice because they're at the top. Whereas if you get someone at the middle or lower layers and take advice off them, get to their level first, and then start taking the big boys' advice to get to their level, it's a bit more of an easier ladder to climb. So enough of the rambling about me, and let's just get on to what I've actually learned about clothes. It is a little bit performative of me, this, because I have got it all jotted down in an orange notebook, like I'm Kai Cenat or something. But that's the only way I can remember it, and because this is no cuts, I'm definitely going to forget something. So first of all, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You see a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram, mainly from America, to be honest, these sort of Atlanta-based clothing brands. If you know what that is, you'll know what I mean. And they're all doing pre-order methods, and they never ship the orders, even though they somehow take a massive picture of them lying on all the orders, and people are complaining all the time. And you see them make one piece and then just sort of blow up out of nowhere. And people have done that. It didn't work. It didn't happen for me because I wasn't good enough of a designer. But that era, I feel, has passed. A lot of people have changed sort of the way they buy. They've changed the way they consume content because there's so many options now, because literally anyone can download Canva for free. Don't even have to download it. Go on your web browser, make a logo, slap it on like a mock-up because everything's so easily accessible. The barrier to entry to the clothing industry is at an all-time low. This means there's a lot of shit. You might get told, like if you're speaking to someone before you launch, oh, it's too oversaturated, don't go in it. They are right, it is oversaturated. There's loads and loads of competition in the clothing brand space. However, 99% of them are absolutely shite. No one wears them. People make brands every single day. They'll buy a bulk order from Pakistan and it'll be sat in the mum's box room for the rest of the time. If you want to be one of them, by all means. I'm not going to be one of them. I'm going to be one of the successful ones. If you're getting into this for the wrong reason, you think, oh yeah, I just want a huge car, I just want like all the status and fame that comes with it, you may as well not start in the first place, to be honest, because you're obviously not starting from a good place of you actually like clothes and want to develop new stuff. The reason I started was because I actually like clothes and I could not find anything that I wanted to wear, so I just made it myself. And it's a little bit egotistical. I'm going to use the word ego a lot in this because I am quite egotistical. I'm delusional in what I believe I can do. That if I like it, someone else is going to like it. Like, obviously, I'm not an anomaly. Like, if I enjoy something, someone else is obviously going to enjoy it. I'm not the only person on the planet that's going to like it. And that sort of just kept me going for the start of it. This might be a little bit choppy because I'm not used to just speaking directly. So if you want to, like, just scroll a little bit on the video, just make sure you watch it all and subscribe, though. Number 2, you need to learn how to do everything yourself. Now, I'm going to contradict myself later, and I know this, but you need to learn how to do everything yourself. As I said before, when I started, I learned Photoshop, I learned Illustrator. Since then, I've learned CapCut, I've learned DaVinci Resolve, I've learned everything. If you do not have a basic understanding of every single point of your business, because that's what it is, a clothing brand is a business at the end of the day, you can't expect anyone else to do it for you. Like, if you think about Mark Zuckerberg, for example, you might think he's a gimp, he's a loser. However, Mark Zuckerberg has qualities, traits, and skills that allow him to be a high-functioning CEO. You don't get $250 billion for being a muppet. You just don't. He needs to have developed them skills along the way. Obviously, you don't start here and then you instantly know, oh, I'm going to be a CEO. You've got to get a little bit of experience in a journey. But you have to believe that you can get there in order to get there. A lot of business is mindset, to be honest. Like, when I started, I just believed I could do it, and I still believe I can do it, and I still believe I am going to do it, and it's coming soon. But if there was any ounce of negativity or doubt in your mind, you're not going to get there. You're just not. It's about business. I sort of knew it already, but it just reminded me that it's more about the person you're becoming than actually building the business. You can't facilitate what you want to do with your business if you're not personally ready on your journey, because I am arrogant in the way that I think I can do anything at any time. Like, just give me 5 minutes and I'll learn how to do like an expert level work of something. But if you've not gone through all of these troubles beforehand, you can't expect to operate a huge business when you're at the top, when you've had no proof of doing it before. It's more about you becoming disciplined, resilient, like easy to work with. Like, there's a lot of traits that you need to become in order to be able to reach that, like, probably figure you've got in your head. Everyone's got a figure in their head that they're aiming for, and like, oh, once I reach that, I'll be happy. Newsflash, when you reach that figure, you won't be happy. You want more. That's just greed, and I love greed. Number 3 is probably the biggest thing I'm still finding out, and why Frost hasn't got to where it needs to go yet, and it is going to go, is you need to know who your consumer is. Now, this is probably, you think it's really easy. Oh, the consumer's just a reflection of me. That's what I thought, but the consumer is not a reflection of me. I'm such a weirdo. Like, I don't think anyone's like me in, like, exactly me. All the stuff I like, no one is exactly like me and likes the exact same stuff. I can guarantee that for a fact. So what you need to do is sort of niche together people by their interests. Demographics are outdated. Doing, who's this targeted for? This is for males between 18 and 24 living in the UK. That might work if you sell like, I don't know, food or something else that's a little bit less, like, how do I put it? Taste orientated. Taste as in like what you like rather than what you physically taste, though. That was probably a really bad analogy. But because if I take the example of, you've probably heard of Old Money. Old Money is like linen, Italian coast on a summer's day with like a vintage car. You've got a cigar. You've got like a vintage Rolex on. If I say Old Money aesthetic, you probably know what I mean. So if your brand is trying to facilitate them, you sort of know where to look and where to target them. My brand is more streetwear. It's more a slight little bit Y2K. So it's not got as already thought out niche and aesthetic. Like, there's no name for it. Old Money has got a name for it. Or you might be like a goth. That's probably the easiest like niche everyone understands as a goth. It's black everything. It's white face makeup. It's chains. It's metal. It's big black leather boots. It's sort of like grungy aesthetic. You know exactly what I mean when I say goth. But you need to build your consumer. So if I say to you Supreme, you know exactly the type of customer who is wearing Supreme. You need to be able to do that with your customer, which is a lot easier said than done, trust me. But if you don't start building this world for them that they belong in and they want to buy into and they want to become, it's going to be a very frustrating journey, because it feels like you're just shouting at a wall, to be honest. You need to learn everything about the consumer. Or not the consumer, your consumer. Because as everyone's a consumer of something. The way I like to look at it is, if I was taking me, for example, and I was trying to sell me a product, how would I sell myself a product? Now, I'm not like everyone else in the terms of I'm not trigger happy online spending. It takes a lot for me to actually spend online. I have to look at the product for months beforehand before I make a decision. And if I was going to target myself, I wouldn't be throwing meta ads in the face every day, because I don't want to be like constantly peppered of like a brand. And if I wouldn't want it, why would I do that to someone else? I don't want constant emails. I want to sort of organically make the decision myself, but the organic decision isn't organic at all. It's manufactured by the brand that's doing it. I might see different videos or reels, or someone talks about it on YouTube or something like that, and I make the decision myself. There's a thing that in the marketing world, it takes 7 touch points now for someone to actually trust your brand and buy from it. Now, a touch point can be anything. It can be someone speaking to them, like a friend, word of mouth. Word of mouth is probably the best or organic marketing scheme there is, because if it comes from someone you trust, you're more likely to then go and trust them rather than someone random on the internet. But that's a different topic. Word of mouth. Every single post on social media that someone sees is a trigger point. So if I see a promo video of yours and then I see some on body and flat lays, that's 3 different touch points. That takes you up to 4. I don't know. You might see it on a billboard or something. Someone might be, say, a DJ's wearing a frost top and you're at a rave and you're like, oh, he's got a frost top on. That's another touch point. It just builds trust without me saying, oh yeah, we're really trustworthy. You should definitely buy from us. And it's just about having a decent communication with the consumer and taking them through a journey to purchase. And this system will work for every single consumer that you're trying to like target in your niche. Now, this is theory to me. Although I've sold like thousands of products, not thousands, over 1,000 products, sorry, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like, I still don't have the system built out, which is why I haven't got to 10,000 orders and I haven't got that Shopify plaque yet. I'm still stuck at like 1,200 orders. But once I find this out and create the system and funnel people through this funnel, it's going to be easy. You just need to find it. Now, I wish I had all the answers to tell you, but I don't have all the answers, and it's going to be different for your consumer. But just know there is a system, there is a funnel. You just have to find it. Hopefully that's enough on that topic, and we're going to move on to the next. This actually sort of like relates to the other one, but everything you do should be targeted at this one consumer. Like, as you grow, you will get different niches of people, because not every product's going to be targeted to the same type of person. The same person who drinks matcha and enjoys little coffee dates probably isn't the same fella going to the gym and is absolutely ripped out of his head and benches like 200 kilos. Really, it's sort of two opposite worlds, but in your brand it can still exist. Them two products and customers can coexist because it's for different people on the spectrum, but they're still in the Frost world. It's a little bit confusing, but if you wrap your head around it, it'll be fine. At the end of this video, I'll tell you some YouTube channels to go and watch that I've watched that really helped me. But until then, you'll have to keep on and listen to me ramble. Number 5. This is something I've learned recently, and it sort of contradicts itself a little bit. Everything I do sort of contradicts itself slightly, but this one's probably one of the biggest ones. It's your product is very important, but your marketing is more important. You can't sell a product just on its own anymore. Like the era of, oh, that's a cool t-shirt, we'll whack it on a concrete floor and we'll take a picture of it, we'll post it, and we'll get like 100 orders. I've done that before. It felt really good at the time, but there was no system to it. There was no reoccurring world. There was no reason for anyone to come back. They were just buying it because of the product. You need to be selling a feeling. That was like 2023. That still worked, but that was coming at the end of it. When there was no competition online and people were just selling on Instagram, like Represent, for example, they'd post like a picture of a pair of jeans on a floor, flat lay concrete in like 2020. It'd sell out. They'd sell like thousands of units. But because there's so much competition now, because the barrier to entry is low, you have to stand out by conveying a feeling. Like, the feeling I'm going for Frost is nostalgia. Our tagline is inspired by nostalgia. Everything we do has references to something of the past. This, for example, this is like a 90s nylon windbreaker from like, what's it called? Get physical. That's what they were wearing. Like, it was sort of, go and watch Get Physical and you know exactly what I mean. It's the piping, it's the paneling, it's the fit of it, but I've made it into a modern thing. This is then water repellent. It's got not the same blue and purple colours and pink and really in your face colours as the 90s. This is now for the modern man. But the idea was born in the 90s. Do you understand what I mean? Now, this, you should really know this from the start, but I didn't actually know it from the start. I just started creating because I wanted to start creating, to be honest. And that's why you should too. You should start figuring it all out along the way. That's what I did. That's the best way to do it, because if you wait until it's perfect to start, you'll never start because it's never going to be perfect. But back to the product. Now, you do need I think you do need a very good product. This, to me, is a very good product. Compared to what I was making at the start, this is like head and shoulders above what I used to make. However, the marketing is very easy once you have a good product. I've been there struggling to think of what to post countless times, but if I look back on it, it's just because my product wasn't good enough. I was just regurgitating the same silhouette of t-shirt with a new print on it. Of course it's going to be hard. You only have like a fresh idea once. I can't just keep like having the same conveyor belt of shit every single time. I didn't catch myself doing that long enough, and that's why Frost went like this, and now it's slightly plateauing. Now we're going to go like this, but at least I've caught myself in the lie. So what I would say is, the product needs to be good. The product does need to be good. Spend a little bit of time in designing. Everything you need to learn about starting a brand or even a business in general, this is just about business advice, to be honest, is on YouTube. You don't need to pay anything to anyone, especially these like clothing brand course owners. If anyone is selling a course online, they're making more money selling the course to you than they are doing what they're actually selling. And that's just the way it is. Don't be spending 5 bags on, I don't know, someone telling you how to market your clothes, make clothes. It's all for free on YouTube. Literally, I learn everything on YouTube. And I'm probably saying now I'm at a pretty decent level. Sorry, I get really worked up when people buy courses and stuff because it's not for me, that. But make sure your product's good and don't be deluded just because you made it. I've done it before. You make a t-shirt, you think, wow, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Make sure you get someone else's opinion. I usually get my mates' opinions of what they think, even though none of my friends are my target market at all, and I don't expect any of them to buy off me because it's not actually catered for them. I still want their opinion anyway, because you'll get a lot of people who probably are just outside of your niche, and they'll look at it and they'll go, oh, that's a really nice piece, that. But I wouldn't wear it myself. That's not me. I do that quite a lot with other pieces. But if they see it, but if I'm promoting it and someone like that sees it, they might like another product on the website. But that's the product that actually drew their attention in the first place because it was a bit out there, it was a bit loud. That's called a hero product, but that's a whole different kettle of fish. We'll leave that for now. I might speak that in another video because I could speak about hero products for like an hour. But we'll move on to point number 6. It's going to take twice as long, if not 10 times as long than you think. When I started my brand, 2019, it was February, I left my job. I thought, you know what, by 2020, January, I'll have 10 employees for me. I'll be making at least 250 grand a month. I'll be going anywhere I want to be. And it just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Now, is this delusion? Yes, it is delusion. I spoke about delusion quite a bit on this video so far, but in order to get where you need to go, you need to be deluded. You need to already move like you are the person that you want to be. I've stole that off a book called Atomic Habits. That's my favourite book ever. If you haven't read that book, go and read that book. A little snippet from it. It says, someone who wants to get into running probably doubts themselves because they're not as fast as a runner. But if you put yourself in the headspace of, oh, what would a runner do here? A runner would probably go and do the miles even though he didn't feel like it. You're going to get a lot more progress thinking like a runner and basically deluding yourself into thinking you're a runner than doubting yourself and saying, I'm not this, just because you haven't got like the portfolio of results yet. Just be deluded as much as possible because your dreams don't come from reality. Your dreams come from delusion. But linking back to the first point, if you're in this for a get-rich-quick scheme, Lord help you, because you're cooked, mate. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Cortez have been going since God knows when. And recently, it came out in an article in the New York Times that they made 54 mil last year or something. But in 2019 or 2018, when they launched, they were doing like 100 orders a day. Not 100 orders a day, like 500 orders a year or something. Like, it won't happen all at once, but if you don't start, it won't happen at all, is what I'm trying to say. Everything in life I've found works on an exponential graph. The more time, effort, money you put in, you won't see results for ages. Then everything will come at once. You'll get the momentum and you'll know what to do. I'm sort of on this up curve at the moment. I feel like I've got all the knowledge that I need to, bar the marketing knowledge, and then I'm gonna skyrocket. No one can stop me. If I believe no one can stop me, no one can stop me. That's just the way it is. You need to fortify your mind. Number 7. This is also, I told you I was going to contradict myself. This is going to contradict number 2. You can't do it alone. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't be the videographer, you can't be the model, you can't be the customer service, you can't be the logistics, you can't be everything, you can't be the designer, you can't wear all the hats. You need to know a little bit about everything, but you can't wear all the hats. As you scale, you need to trust others. This is something I've found really hard to do because I don't trust anyone. If I want something done right, I'll do it myself. And unfortunately, you're going to have to put a little bit of trust in others, but you need to have the basic knowledge yourself so you're not getting done in. Now, I spent the first 2 years locked in this room just at my computer all day. If I would have went outside and met people, it would have been a lot easier, to be honest. But I didn't know that at the time. I'm saying this to you now as advice. If you're like me, though, you probably need to experience it first without someone telling you. You need to feel, not the trauma, but you need to feel the action yourself. And if that's you, that's fine. But just know, after it comes past that 2 years and you've been stuck just watching your screen or learning and stuff, you're going to want to have made a name for yourself. You need to speak to other people. Although you're an introvert, I'm an introvert, you need to just go and put yourself out there. Putting yourself out there, the worst that can happen is someone doesn't like you. And at the end of the day, why would you care if someone doesn't like you? That's what it is. This video has been very long for me. This is probably my longest video ever. And my camera is about to die. So we'll move on to the last point. This has been sort of instilled through the whole video, but I just want to reiterate it one more time. And I'm going to read straight from my book here, Like a Performative Male. Not just clothing brands, but businesses in general is not about developing the business. It's about developing this yourself, the founder. You can't hit the target you set yourself if you're not skilled enough, you're not disciplined enough, you're not resilient enough to achieve it yet. Although you might dream it, it's not reality yet because you haven't developed the person who can actually absorb it. And that's just the way it is. Everything in life is about a personal development journey. To be honest, fuck everyone else. No one else matters. It's just you. This is your life. You need to develop yourself into becoming the best person you want to be. And the best person you want to be will attract everything else. Everyone else will benefit off you being the best version of yourself. So you need to be a little bit selfish. You might... It's a hard way to put it. It's a very hard way to put it. But just focus on you because no one else fucking matters, really. Just focus on you. Now, I'd like to thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's going to be the end of today. If you did enjoy, please make sure you like and subscribe because it does help me a lot more than you know. I might return back to the vlogs, might see how this do and give out a bit more wisdom with a bit more structure. But this is my first video ever speaking with no cuts, no anything. Usually I cut it up to fuck because I stutter all the time, but I feel like I've actually developed my speaking skills by doing this. So I'm probably going to do a couple more, maybe a little shorter ones on different topics, but we'll see. If you're going to take one thing away from this video, though, is don't give up. Don't give up. It's not going to be easy. And if you don't start, it's never going to happen, mate. You have the vision. It's up to you to execute it. And also follow Frost.